Yu-Gi-Oh is impossible to learn alone. Okay, let's take a look. This video is popping off. It's doing pretty well.
Over the last year or so, I've been noticing a lot of folks trying to get into or get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Some successfully, some less successfully. Hearing everyone's different entry-level experiences has made me wonder, how the hell do people get into this game?
You know one thing, sorry, I have my background music. One thing that I really want to highlight, right? And this goes back to the previous video of, the other creator showing how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Through Cyber Dragon, right? This goes back to that. Because if you are not motivated to play a certain archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh!, you have to be extrinsically motivated. You have to be motivated by a different source. Whether that be a friend, or I guess in the case of, Fuslie and Saikuno, right? It is a combination of friend and also it's a stream game. It's a nice stream game to learn. It's also anime nostalgic. It vibes with their audience, right? With Raran, it is very clear that, he wanted to learn the game for the sake of learning the game and not necessarily for any of the characters and any of the archetypes. So I feel like if you go into Yu-Gi-Oh! With the same motivation and the same sort of goals as Raran did, you're off to a really bad start, because you're not going to be motivated enough to continue playing the game, as evidenced by his video, right? So I feel like, and I'm not saying he's wrong, by the way. I'm not saying Raran is wrong in his video. Obviously, I agree with a lot of his takes. And what I'm saying is what I'm actually saying is that if you don't have those other motivations to learn the game, then it's incredibly difficult. And I 100% agree with that, all the way. But yeah, let's see.
How the hell do people get into this game? Modern
Good question.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is this crazy little game with legal level semantics, very meticulous game mechanics, and, my favorite, cards that then break said mechanics.
Yep.
So today, I wanted to talk about how most people get into this game, how you might get into this game, and, if you're already playing, how you can use these things to have more fun. With that said, let's get started. How do people get into the TCG? Well, after going to my local card shop and asking around, it seems that step 1 to every Yu-Gi-Oh! Player's journey
Find a friend.
is getting dropped on your head as a kid.
Okay, that too. You can do that too.
Wait, sorry. Watching the anime as a kid.
There you go. Right. Anime is the biggest hook.
Bonus points if you played with your friends on the playground. So if you've already done this, congratulations, you've already met the minimum requirements. But
Damn, this is this is pretty good. I like it.
including some exceptions, most people haven't been playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Non-stop since 2002. So how do people get back into it? Well, apparently, some folks just raw dog it and just decide they're gonna start playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
On a whim. But
Yep, exactly. I feel like you have to be a very special type of person to be like, yeah, I'm gonna learn Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm gonna learn this game. This game looks fun. I'm gonna learn this one. This is the game. It's not gonna be Elden Ring. It's not gonna be Baldur's Gate 3. It's not gonna be Apex Legends or Fortnite or League of Legends or any game out there, free to play game. There's not gonna be any of those games. No, fuck that. It's gonna be Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like, some people do learn it on a whim, and that's crazy. It definitely doesn't represent a large amount, though. It's just a kid's card game. It can't be that hard.
from what I can tell, most people don't have the iron heart to go to their local Target, skip the self-checkout, and stare their cashier dead in the eyes as she scans 3 copies of your anime plant girl structure deck.
Yep.
Next, please. Oh, wow. Are these for you? What? No, I'd never play Yu-Gi-Oh! They're for my nephews. Oh, of course. Totally. How old are they? 7 and 9? What are their GPAs? 3 and 1? What are their hopes, dreams, and aspirations in life?
Damn, they got one?
Doctor and construction worker.
You have a 7 and 9-year-old cousin who wants to be a doctor, and then one of them has a 1 GPA.
What does Rafflesia do? Immune to traps, protect other trap tricks, copy another trap effect. Wait, gotcha.
Oh,
Fuck.
got
Yeah,
him.
get out of here, you degenerate.
So how do people get to this level of bravery? The answer is simple.
We'll use the power of friendship.
It
Yep.
seems the most common way into playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Is through Nakama power. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a club at school. Maybe you swing by your local card shop and meet some nice, albeit socially awkward, folks. If you've heard
Can I smell your cards?
this man talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Or more likely, argue about Yu-Gi-Oh! Anytime recently, you've probably heard the saying that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a social game, and call me Paramore cause I'm on my way to believing him. Talking with people, playing with people, discussing ban list changes, and even arguing about why a card is busted is the heart and soul of this game. This heart and soul that's so easy to find in the physical method of playing the game is a lot harder to find in the other methods of getting into this game.
Holy.
Master Duel and Duel Links, or as some people have been calling them, Master Links, don't know who, sound like they should be an ideal point of access for new players. Instant access to the entire card pool without need.
I think so. I think if you're wanting to play like Yu-Gi-Oh, advanced format Yu-Gi-Oh, Master Duel format Yu-Gi-Oh, I think you ought to play Master Duel. It's just virtually zero cost of entry. There's no barrier to entry. It's so free. It's accessible. Anyone can play on their phone, on Steam. It's the best way to play it. Whether or not that's going to lead you to play the paper card game, I don't know if that's going to go that well, because there are a lot of differences, and it's a lot to play the actual paper card game. You have to be aware of the rules that Master Duel handles and obfuscates. So, I mean, it's enough to, get you interested, and, it could definitely be a gateway there if you're extremely motivated, I would say. But, yeah, I don't know. It's, that's definitely a tough thing to do.
Needing to wait for UPS to origami the envelope into your mailbox, automatically resolving game state so you don't have to worry about illegal plays, and an infinite queue of online duelists to duel against. So, why people no like play, huh? Well, it seems like the issue is that the heart and soul of social interaction just isn't there. Yu-Gi-Oh!
I would argue most people like play. I would argue Master Duel has more players than paper because of its ease of access, because of its low barrier of entry, because there's virtually no cost to play the game. They do miss out on a huge aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh! And, I mean, any card game, if they're playing a card game online as opposed to paper, for sure. But I don't think, I feel like most people play, PC.
Was apparently pretty dependent on having a group to help guide you through the game, teach you all the nuances, force you to agree to the idea of a handshake, and convince you to eat cup ramen and bread sandwiches for the rest of the month so you can buy a full playset of one of the pot cards. Hell, if your friends are nice enough, they might even progression series you through the last 20 years of Yu-Gi-Oh!
What is this? Huh.
Not having this turns a small party with your friends into a trip to the DMV, full of long waiting times, crazy learning curves, and a pretty aggressive audience. To make things even worse, Konami seems to be well aware that the easiest people to attract are people who meet the step 1 requirement of having watched the anime. What Konami doesn't seem to know is how to bridge a gap in game knowledge so long that it can legally drink, forcing new players into a game so disconnected from what they remember that they're required to go through months of pure trial and error just to figure out what's going on.
4 months of my journey.
What can you do to avoid this? If you're trying to get into the TCG, the right environment.
Yeah, I'll give you a step-by-step guide on how to avoid this. Okay, if you're a new player watching this, how to avoid this, how to learn this game. Okay, step 1, subscribe to my YouTube. Step 2, watch my Dragon Maid guide if you like Dragon Maids. And then step 3, play Master Duel. It's just the best way. You can basically join a community. Join a community online. It doesn't have to be my community. It doesn't have to be my channel. Find a guide. Find people online and play the game through that. You know, that's basically the best way. I honestly don't think paper is the best way because it's way too expensive. You could learn maybe through the speed duel games or speed duel products, but they're not really teaching you how to play the Yu-Gi-Oh that your local game store is likely playing and organizing tournaments around, right? It's kind of a separate game almost in and of itself. So I would say definitely Yu-Gi-Oh is a game where you need a guide, and if you have a guide, whether it be me, someone else, Farfa, Simo, MBT, Distant Coder, whatever, that'll work. And join a community as well. Yeah. Write that down.
Will make the problem sorta solve itself. Make sure you find a nice chill group to play with and you'll probably be fine. But if
Yeah.
you're trying to get into something like Master Duel or Duel Links, what then? Well, you gotta force it to be a social experience. I think the streamer who did the best job getting to Yu-Gi-Oh is of course Leslie.
White dragon!
She went from getting sent to the Shadow Realm by Sykkuno 5 days a week to now playing IRL tournaments, collabing with other streamers, and seemingly just having a good time, and only
Nice.
getting clapped by Sykkuno maybe 2 days of the week. All this fun just by having friends. This could be you. So if you just started playing or are currently playing alone,
Sure.
my advice is to make it social. Pick up Master Duel with a friend. Subject your friends to playing
Yeah.
Duel Links. Join an online community. Watch a big streamer.
There you
Watch
go.
a small streamer. Come join Reddit with the rest of us, I guess.
Don't do that. Sorry. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Just literally join a Discord. Don't do this. I would never suggest prescribe Reddit. It's just Reddit is not, for me, Reddit's not a welcoming community as much as it is filled with a bunch of self-righteous people whose main concern is being right. There's not a lot of community in a Reddit because it's not about you. It's not about the person. It's not about what, like, who is saying something, right? Reddit is all, it judges you based off the content that you type, what your stories are or what you post. It's all upvotes and downvotes, right? That's what they judge you on, is the content of like what you posted, not necessarily like who you are, unless you are someone who regularly posts really good content there. So I don't think, like, I wouldn't join Reddit. I don't think Reddit is a good community. I would say join any Discord of any big streamer, and you would probably be in a much better spot. Yeah, don't touch Reddit. Do not touch Reddit. Reddit is blocked in my country anyway. Good.
Yes. Even if just online, having a community to play this game makes such a difference.
Yes, it does.
Well, step 1 got dropped on my head as a kid, so got that out of the way.
Nice.
And then I started playing Duel Links in 2016. Took a small
Okay.
break and then played non-stop since 2018.
Wow.
And of those 6 years, I played 2 of them completely alone.
Aw.
How was that, you ask? Terrible. On top of holding some of the shittiest opinions known to man, it was also
Neos Fusion is so broken, and people who use it are basically cheating. I don't have to lower myself to using a card like that. I can actually use creativity in my deck building. I'm not like other Yu-Gi-Oh players or Duel Links players. I play the truly skill-reliant decks like Sky Strikers. Sky Strikers require true skill.
not that fun. After about 3 years, I joined Reddit, and then a year after, I joined a Discord server. Recently, as you guys probably might have noticed, I started making content and hanging out with other creators.
Aw.
And I can tell you right now, it is a night and day difference.
Yeah.
So I hope you know that you guys don't have to make the same mistake as me and start dueling with friends. And maybe we'll even get tag duels one day.
I would never play Fenrir. Fenrir doesn't require skill to play. It doesn't require skill and no creativity. I'm not gonna be like all the other Yu-Gi-Oh players. All right, hey, that was a great video. I am definitely subscribing to this guy. This guy has like good stuff. His illustrations are so cute. His jokes are really funny. I really, really liked it a lot. Please, if you guys would, give that video a like and subscribe to him if you enjoyed this content. Really good video. As far as that goes, I definitely do not go to Reddit. Don't go to Reddit. That's a horrible idea. I definitely think he understands a lot of like why Yu-Gi-Oh is hard to learn for new players. And definitely the solution, I do agree. It's generally joining an online community and making friends and talking about your experience and talking about the game. And I think a Discord community is always going to be nicer. So join my Discord, right? Join my Discord, like my videos, and watch my guides. But aside from that, I mean, jokes aside, you can literally look up any guide you want on YouTube, on Master Duel Meta. There's plenty of guides. And I definitely think having friends, having other people to learn with, talk with about this game, because it is kind of a grueling experience to learn on your own, it's a good idea. It's definitely a good idea. What up, Thomas? Once again, that guy has a very extroverted viewpoint of the game. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're introverted, it's not going to apply to you. Sure. I would implore you to try and step outside of that. But, I mean, that's not gonna, like, change you all of a sudden, right? I would say that, yeah, I mean, you could learn the game on your own. It's just going to be very hard. It's going to be very lonely. It's going to be, you know, more difficult. I think if you learn this game with other people, you have an easier way. Collaboration is always going to be a easier way, an easier introduction. It's always going to provide advantages, right? Everything is built on collaboration, and collaboration is always the way to go, I feel. Whether or not that convinces you is up to you, but I'm just saying that you'll have an easier time. But yeah, that was a fun video. Really enjoyed myself watching that one.